It is my birthday today. Welcome to the What's Eating You podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, and I'm a psychologist, published author, and public speaker here to educate and validate. Enjoy the show. I wanted to bring you a special episode speaking about the 20 lessons that made me who I am today. So this will be a little bit psychologically related. There'll be some interesting stories in here and some wisdom as well. So if you're tuning in today, thank you for being here to celebrate my birthday with me. I am 36 years old today, Monday the 26th of February, and I cannot believe I'm 36. So let's get into the episode. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an oldie and OG, welcome back. I love that you have decided to come back to the show. My name is Steph and I'm a psychologist here to break it down. Today is obviously going to be a little bit different because it is my birthday, and I wanted to bring to you some life lessons I've learned or things I wish I knew earlier. Now, I did prepare a little bit of a list, and I was going to do 36 lessons for 36 years old, but I'm like, wow, that's a lot of lessons. So I got to about 20. So I'll go through the list and we'll see how we go. If you enjoy this or you can relate to any of the lessons, please let me know. I'd love to know what's been your biggest lesson in life, or even as you listen to this, I would encourage you to think about, okay, how old am I? What are my 10 biggest lessons? What are 10 things I'm proud of? What are 10 things I want to attract for my future? Yeah, that's a good structure. Let's do that. I'll talk about my lessons. I'll talk about things I'm proud of, and then I'm going to talk about what I want to happen. So let's begin. By the way, I'm still in Bali. I'm very excited. We're going to Uluwatu today. We're going to spend the weekend there. And yeah, I just love it. My partner hasn't been to Uluwatu today. Oh no, he's never been to Uluwatu, but he's coming with me today. So I'm excited to show him around. We're going to spend some time at the beach. I'm going to hang out with some friends tomorrow. So I'm very grateful to have people in Bali who, are wanting to celebrate my birthday. I'm a big birthday person. Lessons. 1. Don't waste more than a year dating the wrong person or the person you are unsure about. I'm not sure why this came up. I really wanted these lessons to be off the cuff, to be a little bit unstructured, and to be very natural and organic. So I said, Steph, just write down what comes to mind. Because then I thought, maybe I should break down the lessons of psychology lessons or business lessons or relationship lessons. And I thought, no, just write down. Let's do some free analysis here. Let's do some free association. Just let whatever comes out. I say this because I know a lot of people who listen to me are either single or are scared to date or scared to put themselves out there, or they're divorced, they've left relationships, maybe they're in an unhappy relationship. And before I go into explaining more about this, I want you to know this is not psychological advice. Disclaimer. It is just my own perspective and opinion, and make sure you speak to a professional. So the reason I say this is I've had 2 other serious relationships that were 4 years each. Because at the time I'm like, I'm young. Who cares? I've got heaps of time. And whilst that may be true, it doesn't mean you should just stay with someone because it's okay. I really believe in waking up thinking, wow, the person I'm with is amazing. I feel happy. I feel fulfilled. And we share the same values. But I think too often we stay in a relationship for the wrong reasons. We think it will get better. We think the person will change. We think, it's not that bad. It's just this one thing they do. But if you're not waking up being like, yes, this is my person, this is who I want to be with, then why are you with them? Are you there because of fear? Are you scared that you're not going to find better? Are you scared that that's all you deserve? I remember hearing a quote, and it was, you attract the love you believe you deserve. And I think that can be true in many cases. So that's my number 1. I would usually give a relationship a year. And if after a year you're umming and ahhing and you're unsure, it's probably not the right person. And don't try to convince yourself to stay in a relationship. I remember when I was with an ex-partner, I would talk to friends about it and they'd say, yeah, it's so normal. It's so normal to be unsure. It's so normal. This is normal. And I'm like, is it? Really? you experience this? And they would try to reassure me that it was normal to question your relationship and be unsure. So that kind of made me feel good. I was like, oh yeah, it's normal. Okay, it's just me. But it's not. It's not normal to question your relationship all the time. It's not normal to be upset all the time. It's not normal to feel anxiety all the time. Not that I felt that way, but I was uncertain, but it wasn't bad. So that's what kept me there. I'm like, oh, it's not bad. But also it shouldn't just be not bad. It should be amazing. It should be great. Number 2, invest in yourself or get a coach, right? I have so many conversations with people and they'll say, oh, it's too expensive. Therapy's too expensive. An ADHD assessment's too expensive. Working with a coach is expensive. Not doing that is expensive. I think of the coaching I've done in my life, and I haven't even done as much as other people, right? And I have paid thousands and thousands of dollars on coaching, on education, on personal development. And it has made me who I am today. It's given me business skills. It's given me life skills. It's given me skills that I would have had to study for ages to learn, etc. But investing in a professional that knows what they're doing, who's walked the walk, who talks the talk, it's important to get the right coach, can be very life-changing. When people say, oh, it's so expensive, you just need to think, what is this costing me not getting a coach? And it could be a coach for anything. It could be a food freedom coach. It could be a business coach. It could be a life coach. It could be a couples counselor. Whatever that coaching looks like, do it and invest in it. You only have one life, and the best way you can learn is from people who've been through it before and who have the skills to get you there. Number 3, do what makes you happy, even if it makes someone else upset. Right? What I mean by that is you may be really tired and burnt out and not want to go clubbing with your friends. And your friend is, no, but you promised and you have to come, but you feel sick, etc. Yes, your friend might be upset you may not go out, but if it's what you need and what is required of you and you absolutely cannot go, then do what you need, or do what makes you happy, even if it makes someone upset. For example, you might really want to go on a trip, but someone you want to come along can't afford it, or your friend can't afford it. Don't just not go. If going on this trip is going to make you happy, yes, it might make your friend upset that you're going without them, but don't put your life on hold. Don't hold back on your own happiness and being for other people, because you know what? Someone is always going to be upset, but you don't control other people's emotions. People are responsible for their own emotions. And I know that can be a tough pill to swallow, but you're responsible for your emotions too. And if you think everyone else needs to act in a way to soothe your emotions, you're going to be very upset a lot of the time, because emotional mastery, managing your own emotions, is such a strong and powerful skill, which is one of my other lessons, but I've just said it now. Remember, do what makes you happy, even if it makes someone else upset. They'll pass. It'll be over. Number 4, if there was one thing I could recommend for your mental health, it is exercise. It is the best thing you can do for your mental health. And you just see it. You see the difference in people who walk on a regular basis versus people who do no exercise. You can see it. You see the stress levels. You see just how they act, their attitude, their positivity, etc. Now, I know exercise can be a sensitive topic, especially if you've had a disordered relationship with it or you've excessively exercised. So let me be clear. It's not about doing a super high intense marathon or that, but just moving your body, going for a morning walk, because it shows that I get up and value myself. I get up and make time for me. I'm investing in what I know is good for me, and mentally, psychologically, spiritually, it's amazing. And I was speaking to another psychologist in my building. Funny story. Yeah, I bumped into this man and we were chatting, and we both happened to be psychologists, and we both agreed. I said to him, if there was one thing you could recommend your clients, if you only had one session with a client, what would you tell them? And he'd say, exercise. And I said, me too. There is just no way you can have a healthy, functional mental health on a consistent basis if you have no form of exercise in your life. And I recommend reframing it. Don't think about it as exercise. Think about it as, I call them mental health walks. I call them nervous system walks. And I'll say to the people in my program, this week you're doing a nervous system walk, 5 minutes a day. That's it. Research has shown you only have to move your body 7 minutes a day to get the benefits. So exercise, if you can't afford therapy, if you can't afford a coach, if you can't do anything, exercise on a consistent basis will change your life. Number 5, not reacting is one of the best skills you can have. Everyone is so reactive, including myself, but I blame my Greek fiery genes for that. And do you know why I've noticed it? Because my partner is so calm. He is so calm and grounded. Even when I react, he's so calm and grounded. And I'm like, why am I reacting? So what I mean by reacting is yelling, shouting, getting upset, thinking the worst, jumping to conclusions. We all do it, but you've got the ability to respond to that instead of react to it. So if something annoys you or frustrates you, take a deep breath and identify you have the urge. Yeah, I'm constantly doing this. I've got the urge to react. I've got the urge to interrupt. I've got the urge to shut down my partner. I've got the urge to say no. But I take a deep breath and I say, it's okay, let them speak. If you can master reacting and stay calm and breathe, this is one of the best skills that has the ability to change your life. And it's hard to do. Why is it hard to do? Because we're all taught to react. We're all taught to self-soothe with food. If you grew up in a household where everyone yelled, you're likely to learn that yelling is the norm. Who teaches you to take 3 deep breaths when you're a kid and be calm? Not many people. If you need help being calm, I actually have 50% off all my courses. Use the code birthday50. So if you're wanting to overcome anxiety, rewire your brain, or recover from burnout, use the code birthday50 for any of my courses. Today only, when you're listening to this. Number 6, the relationship you have with yourself is the most important. Now, I know that sounds a bit corny, but you need to ask yourself, do I love myself? Not your body, not your looks. Do you love yourself as a person? Do you love who you are? If not, what's wrong with you? What do you want to change? What do you need to change? How can you improve your relationship with yourself? Do you need to spend more time with yourself? Do you need to get to know who you are? Take yourself out. Journal. Learn about yourself. What do you like? What don't you like? What are your interests? Spend more time talking about yourself. But the relationship you have with you is most important. So work on that. Really work on improving that. Number 7, don't just journal, but write down what you want to happen. So often we think about what we want to happen. More often, actually, people think about what they don't want to happen. And journaling is a great tool, but I don't believe enough people manifest in their journal and they don't write down enough of what they want to attract. They might say, oh, I'm feeling so upset today. The guy didn't text me back. I really want a boyfriend. Okay, talk about when I get a boyfriend, this is what they're going to look like. This is how they're going to act. This is who they're going to be. Next year, I want to be traveling to Bali. I want to go to this place. Write down what you want as part of your journaling because those things will come into your life. Remember, we give our brain the parameters through what it will attract. Then this leads into number 8, which is tell people what you want to happen as if it's going to happen. So one of my things is I'll usually come up with an idea. So when I first started the idea of food freedom, I talk about it like it's happening, even before I've started it. So I'll say, hey, I've got this really cool program coming up. I'm working on it. I'm really excited. It's called Food Freedom. This is how it's going to work. This is what it's going to look like. Even if I haven't done it yet, I talk about the plan because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. Same with my book. I didn't keep it a secret. I was saying to people, oh yeah, I'm an upcoming author. I'm writing a book. This is the book I'm writing. Yeah, it's going to be available in July. Because what happened? My brain then designed the parameters for my book to be ready by July. So talk about things as if they're already happening. Like I'm talking to people about how I'm going to run a Food Freedom in Bali experience, or I'm going to run a type of retreat, maybe in Thailand. Have I planned it? No. But I'm talking about it as if it's happening. Next year, I'll be in a relationship. Yeah, in the next 2 years, I'll be engaged. Things like that. So tell people what you want to happen as if it's going to happen, and it will happen. Number 9, don't wait until you're ready to do something. Do something and stop thinking about it. Yeah, I speak to so many people before they join Food Freedom, my course, and so many people are like, oh, I've got uni work, I've got work, I'm really busy. There's never going to be a right time to work on your relationship with food, let's be honest. There's never going to be a right time to do a master's degree. It's never going to be a right time to have a kid. Yes, maybe in your mind there may be better times, but if you can do the thing when life is the most busy, that's the best time to do it, because it means you're not going to drop off when life gets busy again. So stop waiting. Don't think, oh, I'll start next month. I'll start da-da-da-da. Oh, I'll eat better tomorrow. Start now. Stop talking about what you're going to do and actually take that step. I'll give you an example. My ex-partner, oh, I'm going to buy a house. And he spent so much time researching and getting software and spreadsheets and all this. And that's great. And I really admire people who do all the work. But did he get a house? No. Whereas I called up a mate and I said, hey, where's a good area to buy property? He was a real estate agent. He's like, oh, this area is pretty good. I was like, okay. 3 months later, I had a house in that vicinity. Did I do my research? No. Could I have bought something better? Probably. But I'm more about taking imperfect action than taking the perfect action 10 years down the track. Which is number 10, actually take action instead of talking about what you're going to do. So many people will say, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do that. And this is something I've really instilled in my partner, because what I noticed is he would sometimes say something like, oh, I'll probably train later, or yeah, I'm going to do this. And then he wouldn't do it. And I found that so strange. And I said, hey, didn't you say you were going to do this? And he'd be like, yeah, I did. And I would say, why aren't you doing it? I find that really weird, because I'm just such a person. I would never say something unless I'm doing it. And I would never do something unless I'm saying it, if that makes sense. Like when I would say, yeah, I'm training today, I'll say I'm exercising at this time, or I'm not exercising at this time. But I'd never say I'm going to do something and then not do it, which is really strange because everyone does it. And I understand if you're ADHD or mental health, different story, but actually ask yourself, am I just saying this to make myself feel better, or am I actually going to do it? Because I'll own up to it and I'll say, I'm not going to food prep, and I know that's going to make me unorganized for the week, but I know I'm not going to do it. So I'm not going to say I'm going to do it and then not do it. I'd rather just say I'm not going to do it and not do it. So own it. That one might be a bit strange for people to comprehend. All right, number 11. If you're unhappy, work out why and change whatever it is you need to. If you can't change a situation, change the way you think about it, right? So if you're like, oh, I'm so unhappy with my level of fitness, do you have what it takes to change your level of fitness? And if you don't, that's okay. It's okay to say, you know what, I would love to be fitter, but right now I don't have the drive or the energy or desire to do what I need to do, so I'm going to accept where I am, and that's okay. It's absolutely okay to accept where you are. The problem is people stay where they are and don't accept it, which creates cognitive dissonance, which is the disharmony between who you are and where you want to be. But if something is making you unhappy, it's my relationship, leave it. If you're struggling to leave it, see a professional. So actually take action rather than just start being unhappy. Or if you're going to be unhappy, just own that. So yeah, I'm in a relationship and I'm unhappy, but I'm not leaving the relationship. It is what it is. Somehow just acceptance can feel really relieving, but many people don't do it because they refuse to accept particular circumstances. 12. How someone responds to your feelings tells you everything about that person. And this is something I talk about all the time. And I wish I knew this in my 20s. If you tell someone about your feelings and they minimize it, they invalidate it, they say you're dramatic and you're catastrophizing and you're emotional, it tells you a lot about that person. Either they don't know much about emotions, they don't know much about validation, and you can gently probe them and say, hey, it's not particularly helpful when you respond in that way. But if it's a romantic relationship and you're like, is this a good guy or girl? How do they? Don't look at what they say, look at how they respond. Look at their actions on a consistent basis. That's a big one, and I won't stop preaching about that. Number 13, stop wishing for the perfect body. Many people with amazing bodies who you look at and think, oh my God, I want their body, have very good genetics. I know because I know them. And they make a lot of money from programs or selling stuff, supplements. A lot of them are also on performance-enhancing drugs. Some of them are open about it. Many of them take recreational drugs. Many of them constantly drink Coke Zero. So I want you to think, instead of thinking, oh, I want a better body, ask yourself, what does actual health look like for me? What does health? And even if you do the exact same thing as someone with an amazing body, it doesn't mean your body is going to look like that. But let me tell you, they eat, and they eat a lot more than you think they would, but a lot of it is genetics. So it's about your body and making small improvements to your health and your relationship with food. So stop thinking you wish like you look like someone else, because you'd need different genetics for that. Okay, number 14. Fitness is about what works for you, and it requires a level of consistency and effort even when you don't feel like it. So as you may have seen, I spend a lot of time in the fitness industry. People don't know this, but I actually used to have a fitness studio back in my 20s, which I sold when I became a psychologist. But I'm in the fitness industry. I'm around a lot of bodybuilders. I'm around a lot of people who are studying it, in it, etc. And I think the difference between people in the fitness industry and people who are not and who want to be fit is they are looking for the right method for them. So people like you and I, oh my gosh, should I do cardio? Should I do weights? Should I do F45? Is CrossFit better for me? Whereas people who are in the fitness industry, they just have a program and they just trust it. They're like, oh yeah, today it's legs. Whereas for me, I'd be like, but wait, how many reps should I do? How many sets should I do? What is the best optimal decision for my body? It doesn't matter. What matters is you are consistent and you're working towards your goal when you don't feel like it. People in the fitness industry, they don't wake up and be like, oh, should I go to the gym? Should I not? I'm tired. What do I do? They're just like, I am going to the gym. And they go despite how they feel. So it's about what works for you. But I want you to know that if you do want to change your body, if you do want to work on your health, if you do want to work on your fitness or performance, man, it's hard. And it takes a lot of effort and consistency, I am telling you. And it is not just eating egg whites. It takes a lot of monitoring. It takes a lot of consistency. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of time. So if you are listening to this and secretly you want to lose weight, you've really got to have a good reason and a good system, because it takes a lot of effort, which will take away from other areas of your life. So just know that. But it's also okay to be like, you know what? I just don't want to invest that cognitive energy right now. And I've been through different stages. I've been through food freedom stages where I say, I'm not going to aim for any goals in my fitness life. I'm just maintaining. I really want to focus on business. And that sort of becomes secondary. Like I'll always exercise and make that part of my life, but it's not, the energy and effort required is not what I need for my life at that point in time. So it's okay to go through different stages and phases, but you've just got to own it and know that, okay, my health and fitness may not be at its peak while I'm working on my career or something. And yes, you can do it all and you can have it all, but it comes at a really high level of organization, time management, consistency, and sacrifice. And you just got to ask if you really are wanting to do that. Number 15, you don't need to be super smart or attractive to be successful. You just need to be liked. This might sound strange, but be likable and everything will be okay. Are you a likable person? When you walk into the room, are you smiling? Do you say hello to everyone? What energy do you carry about yourself? Are you approachable? I didn't get to where I am because I'm super smart. I failed to get into honors. I failed to get into masters. I got to where I am because I'm very persistent. I'm persistent, and I said, I don't care what it takes. I may not be smart enough, but I'll work hard enough to get there, and I did. Same with TikTok. I'm not the best psychologist out there by any means. I'm not the most experienced. But I create content that people like and they enjoy, and it's easy to digest. And it's working, and it's fine. It's all good. It's happening. And you don't need to be super attractive to be successful. Trust me, I've been through all those stages. At the end of the day, what matters is, are you confident in the person you are? How can you like yourself as a person? Do you like yourself without hair extensions, eyelash extensions? When I first got to Bali, I always wear makeup, and I just would, oh no, today I'm wearing mascara. And then now by the end, by day 20, I'm sitting here with no makeup and I'm fine. I'm okay. I'll go in front of everyone. It's all good. Because this is how I look. This is my look. And I don't need to change it. You don't need to change how you look. Number 16, let's go to 20. It takes work to be happy, right? This is something I've been pondering on, but I always think, what makes me happy? What makes me feel the happiest is having flexibility in my life, doing things I actually want to do, having good people around me, good energy, feeling loved, feeling appreciated makes me happy, and good energy and vibes. But in order to have that, it takes work. Like, it's taken so much work to just get to where I am. You've got to filter out the things that don't make you happy anymore, or slowly have a plan. There was times where I was in jobs I didn't like. There was times I had to do the hard yards. I worked in prisons and all that, and it taught me so much, but I acknowledge this was a season of sacrifice. And you know what, Steph? This may not be your happiest era, but it's an era that's necessary for your happy era, right? So my season of sacrifice was doing my clinical placements, working in prison, working 9 till 5, etc. And there's nothing wrong with that. I admire people who do that. But that season was necessary to get to my ultimate season of life design. So know that it takes work to be happy, and sometimes to be happy, there are necessary seasons of sacrifice to get there. And happiness is a consistent thing. It's not a state you reach. It's a state you maintain, and it's maintained by what you do, what you think, and how you feel. And what you think affects how you feel. So in all my courses, we do a whole thinking transplant. We rewire the way you think because that's how you feel. All right, number 17. Oh, that's what I said. Your thoughts are the things that will change your life. You don't need another diet. You don't need to be skinnier. You don't need to be hotter. You don't need to be more attractive. You just need to think better. You need to go on a thought diet. In fact, if you're listening to this right now, I give you a challenge. I want you to go on a thought diet this week, and any unhelpful thought comes up, you're not allowed to listen to it. You have to say, whoops, that thought's not appropriate for my thought diet, and think something else instead. Think of something more useful towards your goals. Number 18. This one might not work for everyone, but outsource stuff you don't want to do, right? I have so many people like, I feel so guilty getting a cleaner. When I'm home and the cleaner comes, I feel so guilty because I could be doing it. You could, but doesn't mean you should. If you don't value cleaning your house and you can afford a cleaner, and if cleaning means you get to spend more quality time with your kids, if getting a cleaner means you get to focus on your business, if it means you get an hour of self-care a week for you, then it is an investment, not a cost. If you have ADHD, outsource admin stuff if you can. Get AI to help you or set up some sort of outsourcing support. So if you can outsource things, do it. And just focus on the things you love and enjoy. Now, number 19, I've already spoken about this earlier, but I get a lot of people who are listening who have dissatisfaction with their body. And I want to tell you, if you really want to change your body, it takes a lot of what you think it does. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of consistency. It takes a lot of really pushing heavy weights, doing progressive overload. Now, I'm not an expert in the health and fitness space, but I am within the fitness industry. When I work with the academy, I'm around bodybuilders all the time. So you just got to ask yourself, if I really want to change my body, am I willing to dedicate the time and effort? Or do I just want to maintain health? What is my actual goal? Because I think people think if I go on this diet or I do this influencer's plan online, the 8-week program, that's going to get my dream body. No, if you want to change your body, it takes years. Yeah, not to put a damper on it, but I don't want you to think that there's something wrong with you. That's normal. That's what happens. And number 20, I didn't write anything down, but now that I think about it, I just want to leave you with, go for what you want and don't hold back. You want to go on a date with that person, go ask them. You want to get a job promotion, just go for it. You want to go on a solo trip, book it. Stop letting your brain talk you out of doing things that you know are going to make you grow as a person, because your brain's designed to survive, not to thrive, and you need to be the one to tell your brain what you want to happen, okay? So go for it and just say, what's the worst that can happen? If I never started posting on social media, we would never be here. I wouldn't have this platform that I'm so grateful for. Thank you. And I wouldn't have these opportunities like being in Bali or helping women around the world. So by not taking that step, you might be actually robbing yourself of opportunities. Thank you so much if you've stayed to the end of this episode with me. I'm so grateful and appreciative. And if you want to give me a birthday gift, please leave a rating or a review on Apple Podcast or on Spotify below. We would absolutely love it. And I've got a form now you can fill out. If you've got a question that you want to ask, just pop it in the link below. But a massive thank you for being here. I'm off to celebrate my birthday, and I hope you have an amazing week. I'm proud of you and can't wait for the next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I am truly grateful for you being here. If you got something out of today's show, please take a moment to leave a rating or review. To access more resources or support, check out the show notes below. See you next time.